Hi everybody, Cynthia here. I am back with Jingle, Jangle in July Christmas series, and I got out this paper pad. It's called Cozy Lodge from Recollections, and I have a few sheets left, but I had a lot of these strips left, and I thought, I was kind of racking my brain like, what could I make with this, with these strips? I didn't feel like making a card at the time, so I came up, and these are nothing new, but I came up with this cute little fan gift topper. Now you can use this as an embellishment, so that's why I put embellishment on there, especially for like larger photo albums or layouts, but I wanted to use it as a gift topper on a package. Which I think it looks so stinking cute on that. And you know, if somebody gifted me a box like this, I kind of think when you get boxes that people really decorate, it's kind of getting a gift in it, you know, two gifts in one. So I'm going to use it as a gift topper for this package. I didn't glue it to the package yet. And I'm also going to come back probably for the last video of the Jingle Jangle in July Christmas series and show you how to create this gift box. So you'll have a cute little gift topper and a gift box to complete this series. But that's what I'm going to use it for. And I thought you could also use these for ornaments if you got yourself like a piece of twine and made a loop, made a really nice loop, and then just glued it to the back. You could hang them up as Christmas ornaments. So there's a lot of things you can use these little fans for, and like I said, the fans themselves are nothing new, but I just thought it would be perfect to kind of use up scraps and little pieces we had in our stash. So let's get started. I cut myself a piece of, and I'm going to use this to show you how to actually create the fan, but then I also have one that matches this one that we're going to decorate. Okay, because it does take a little bit for the fan to dry. You want to give it time to dry before you decorate them. So I figured I'd create a fan with this piece and then we'll decorate it to kind of look like this one, so you can see how I did it. And I'm just going to set this gift box aside for right now. And like I said, I'll be back to, that is a 4 by 4 by 2 inch gift box. And I will be back to make that with you guys as well. Okay, so I'm going to get out my scoreboard. Make some room here. Oh, also, all of these greens that you see here, I used my Tim Holtz Sizzix die, Thinlits die, and the berries I cut out red and white, and then I cut out these holly leaf greens to create those. So that's the die I used for that. And then I have a small tiny poinsettia die in my tools, but I don't remember where it came from, so I couldn't tell you. But like I said in a previous video, there are tons of poinsettia dies out there. Just, you know, pick one that you like and go from there. So we're going to line this up at 6 inches, the 6-inch mark, and you're going to score it at 1/4 of an inch the entire way down. So start at 1/4, then 1/2, 3/4, 1 inch, 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 1 3/4, 2 inches, 2 1/4, 2 1/2, 2 3/4, 3 inches, and you're going to keep going at 1/4 of an inch the entire way. Okay. set my scoreboard aside. Now this takes some practice because they're so tiny. But you're going to start and bend one down, then one up. And you're just going to accordion fold it. One down, one up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And then I kind of let this go because it's a long piece, and I just continue with the accordion fold, but I don't have to hang on to all of this paper while I'm doing it. And that just makes it a little bit easier on my grip, especially if you have arthritis in your hands. It's easier to let that accordion go and just continue with your folding without having to try to hang on to all that paper. Okay, so let's fold this up since I let it go. And then I like to push mine down and flatten it, and then really squeeze it good to get those folds in nice. And then I also rock it. So I put it between these 3 fingers and these 3 fingers, and I kind of rock it back and forth just to shimmy all of the accordion folds so they're nice and flat together. Okay, so you can pull it out a little bit, and what we're gonna do is basically we're gonna run glue along the edge here, and we're gonna pinch it. But when you pinch it, I want you to leave it flat against the surface, pinch it, and then fold the fan out. And then just hold it at a good pinch, about a ½ inch up. Okay, so fan it out, move up about 1/4 inch, and you want to put glue in a line all along the peaks and valleys of that accordion fold. And I'll show you a close-up what I did. Okay, so like I said, keep it flat to the surface, go in and pinch it about a ½ inch up from the bottom, and then you're going to pull these out with this hand. Just kind of spread your hand out, pull them out to get a nice fan in there. And you definitely want to leave it flat, because if you're holding it in the air, it could buckle on you this way or this way, and you don't want that. You want to keep it nice and flat. And now that's going to need time to dry, so I'm just using one of these alligator clips, or I don't know what kind of clip you want to call it. I think they're alligator. And then pull your fan out a little bit. Okay, that's going to need time to dry, so you're going to set that aside. And then also this paper here, this was not originally glittered. You can see the glitter on all of the peaks of the accordion. So what I did was I took some gold glitter glue, and I just ran it along all of these peaks here. Just because I love a sparkle. Okay, so I just ran it all along those edges, all the way down. And just take your time doing it, because you just want to get it on the edge. Okay, so I did that through the whole fan, and I'm not going to waste your time, you know, me sitting here doing this while you're watching me, but that's basically what I did to get that whole entire fan glittered up. Also, another idea, before you actually glue this bottom together here, you could leave your accordion out, get a piece of lace, and glue it to this edge. And that way, when you have your fan, a little bit of lace would be peeking out once you glue the bottom together. You could also run a little strip of like tulle, like gold tulle or whatever color you want to use on the top, so it just shows a little bit of tulle on the top once it creates a fan. Those are just a few little ideas you could do before you actually go in and glue this whole thing together. Okay, so we're going to set this aside. I'm just going to show you really quick how I decorated this fan. Okay, so I took one of the white berries and I just popped them up to make two. And then I'm just going to add a little glue to the back. Let me get tweezers. I am so much better with tweezers. And then I don't want to use the very bottom because you want to actually see the bottom of your fan. So I moved up a little bit higher. So I'm going to go right about here, and I'm going to let some of that white berry just kind of drape off the side. You might want to hold your finger there for a minute till it's glued on, but I did leave a little bit hanging off, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Right across from it. Let me just hold my finger on that for a second. Make sure that's nice and glued down. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I took one of these stems and I just popped off a piece. And this one we're going to put in the center of the two white berries. And maybe a little higher up. You definitely want to hold your fingers over them for a minute because they're just really getting glued to the edges of the accordion. So they need a minute to really grab on there to let dry. So like that so far. And then I'm going to do the same thing with these greens. I'm going to just pick a piece off right here. Kind of make them into two pieces instead of one long. And add some glue. And I'm going to put them in between the red and the white. And hold them down for a minute. And same thing on the other side. Go right in between the red and the white. Sky's the limit with these fans. You could use plain colored cardstock and then your stamp sets and put stamp sets down here and be really cute package toppers or little Christmas ornaments. I remember getting like vintage looking paper fans. I think my mom had on the, well, they're vintage now, Christmas tree. And they were made from music note papers. So just something to think about. Okay, and then I have one of my poinsettias put together. So I'm going to glue that on. it down here. Just hold it down for a second. Not sure if the glitter is dry that I used for the center of my poinsettia, so that's why I'm kind of trying to not push it down in the middle. Just push those petals down. Okay, so then at the bottom here, I took some of this seam binding I purchased from Scrap Cabin, my Scrap Cabin shop on Etsy. I'm not affiliated in any way, but I will put a link below if you'd like to get yourself some seam binding. And this color is Evergreen. I originally found out from Lyric Lover Crafts, Amber, here on YouTube. She uses a lot of seam binding, and I loved the colors and the crinkle in it, and she suggested using my Scrap Cabin on Etsy, and I love her. You order it, ships pretty quick, and she is super, super nice. So just made a little bow there with the seam binding. And I'm going to glue that on right below my poinsettia. So I'm just going to lift the leaf up a little bit because I kind of want to get it underneath there. And add some liquid glue to the bottom here. You could use hot glue too. Entirely up to you what kind of glue you like. Sometimes I work with hot glue and sometimes I don't. Just depends on my mood. I wouldn't glue the hot fans together because I was afraid I was going to burn my fingers with pinching them. And I don't like any glue showing on a project. So I figured liquid glue would be best. Okay, and that's it, guys. That's how I created this cute little fan gift topper. And then to put it on the gift, I'm either gonna run some hot glue on it and pop it on, or I might get myself a couple pieces of this foam tape and put that on the back, and then just place it on my package. Okay, so I'm gonna let that fully dry, but that's how it turned out. And like I said, I will be back to share with you how I put this gift box together in my next video. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I hope you give this a try. Thanks so much for watching. Take care and happy scrapping.